Have you ever wondered what everything around you is made of? From air we breathe to the water we drink and to the metal in your phone, everything made of elements. Welcome to the periodic table of elements. Periodic table is a chart that organizes all the known elements based on their atomic number, properties and structure. Elements are arranged in rows are called periods and the columns are called groups. As you can see, there are 7 periods in this periodic table and 8 main groups in this periodic table. Similar elements are grouped together. As an example, you can see here group 8A or group 18. All of these elements grouped together are noble gases. And there is a color code, as you can see. The pale yellow color is for the metals. All the metals are located in the left side of the periodic table except hydrogen. And the right side of the periodic table, the green color code is for the non-metals. And you can see there is a step-like line which separates metals from non-metals, and the elements that are sitting on this step are called metalloids. In the periodic table, some groups have specific names. Group 1A is called alkali metals. These alkali metals include lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. In the periodic table, if you go down in a column, the group 1A include these metals. Group 2A is known as alkaline earth metals. Group 6A is chalcogens. This name is not a very common name, but it is specific for group 6. Group 7 is called halogens, which include fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. Group 8A are noble gases, and these are the elements including group 8A. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Each box represents an element, showing its symbol, atomic number and sometimes its mass. For example, potassium element is given here. So this is the symbol for potassium, capitalized K, and the atomic number is 19 and the atomic weight is also given here as 39.0983. Let's talk about ions. An ion is simply an atom or molecule that carries an electric charge, either positive or negative. So how do atoms become ions? It is all about electrons. When an atom loses electron, it becomes positive ion and called cation. When an atom gains electron, it becomes a negative ion and it's known as anion. Periodic table gives us clues how atoms form ions. As you can see in this given periodic table, you have cations and anions. As an example, group 1A, they loses electrons and make positive ion. They lose just one electron, therefore their positive ion is just +1. However, when you move to group 2A, you can see they loses 2 electrons and they become +2 ions. In the periodic table, we talk about the metals, nonmetals and metalloids. So all the metals are in the left side of the periodic table except hydrogen. So metals always loses electrons. The number of electrons they loses is equal to the group number. If you go to the right side of the periodic table, you can see group 7, they are making anions and they gain 1 electron and make -1 ion. Group 6A, they gain 2 electrons, therefore All the elements mentioned here, they have -2 charge. Atoms form ions to become more stable. They are stable when they have full outer shell like noble gases in group 8A. Group 8A or noble gases, they are not gaining or losing electrons because their electron configuration is complete. You will perfectly understand what is this completed electron configuration when we are discussing about electron configuration. This is known as octet rule. So metals loses electrons, non-metals gain electrons in order to become more stable. We usually write elements as below. We write the symbol of the element. You can see here I have taken carbon as an example. So this is the symbol C, and the atomic number is indicated by the subscript number. So for carbon, atomic number is 6, therefore it is subscript. The superscript number is called the mass number. For carbon, mass number here is 12. The mass number is the number of protons plus neutrons in the atom. Always atomic number equals to the number of protons. For carbon, atomic number is 6. Therefore, number of protons are 6. When the atom is neutral, it has not formed any ion, number of protons are equal to the number of electrons. Therefore, in this case, carbon has 6 protons and 6 electrons. Since the mass number is number of protons and neutrons in an atom, you can calculate number of neutrons by subtracting number of protons from the mass number. Calculating protons, electrons and neutrons. This table shows you 5 different elements with their atomic number and mass number. Let's calculate number of protons, electrons and neutrons. The first one is argon. The subscript number is 18. Therefore, this is the atomic number. We know if it is a neutral element, atomic number equals to the number of electrons as well as number of protons. So, there are 18 protons and 18 electrons. Mass number, which is 40, equals number of protons and neutrons. Therefore, you can find the neutrons by subtracting 18 from the mass number, which gives you 22 neutrons. Next one is gallium. Atomic number is 31, therefore 31 protons and 31 electrons. The mass number is 70. Number of neutrons are 70 minus 31, which is number of protons, will give you 39. Zinc has atomic number of 30, so you have 30 protons and 30 electrons in zinc. Mass number is 65. If you subtract number of protons from mass number, will give you 35 neutrons. Bromine has atomic number which is 35, therefore 35 protons and 35 electrons in there. Number of neutrons you can calculate by subtracting 35 from 80, which is the mass number, and gives you 45 neutrons. Cadmium, the atomic number is 48, therefore there are 48 protons and 48 electrons. Number of neutrons are 64. If you subtract 48 from 112, which is the mass number, gives you 64 neutrons. Now let's talk about isotopes, a fascinating part of understanding elements. Isotopes are atoms of the same element that have the same number of protons but a different number of neutrons. For example, carbon, there are different isotopes. I will take two isotopes of carbon, carbon 12 and carbon 14. We usually name them with their mass number. So this is known as carbon 12 and this is known as carbon 14. Both are carbon atoms, therefore they have same atomic number, which is 6 here and 6. But carbon 12 has 6 neutrons while carbon 14 has 8 neutrons since their mass number is different. Because they have same number of protons, they are still same element but different number of neutrons given them different mass number. Some isotopes are stable while other isotopes like carbon 14 is unstable and it is radioactive. Carbon 14 used in carbon dating to estimate the age of fossils. So you can see isotopes remind us even atoms of the same element can have interesting differences. Key points and insights. When you are studying periodic table of elements, study element names with their symbol. You need to know what are the metals, what are the nonmetals and metalloids. Those will help you to write chemical formulas. When element is given with an atomic number and mass number, we can calculate number of protons, electrons and neutrons in that element. At last, isotopes. Most of the elements in the periodic table consist of different number of isotopes. Since isotopes have same atomic number, since it is the same element, mass number is different, so you should be able to calculate protons, electrons and neutrons in isotopes as well. Thank you.